Welcome to the topic of project cost management under the project management subject. We are going to discuss various aspects of cost management in two-part series. In the first part, we will be looking at some high-level concepts related to the overall cost management. In part 2, we will be more concentrating on the project cost controlling, which includes some calculations as well. When it comes to managing projects, we can clearly identify four core areas or four key aspects. Those are the time, cost, scope, and quality. We call them the quadruple constraints in project management. At a time, some of these constraints can be conflicting with each other as well. For example, if you want to achieve a very high quality, person might say we need a little bit more time and it will cost more. And also when it comes to scope also, when our scope is getting broader, we need a little bit more time and cost. But customers may have different ideas. So they want a lot of features at very short time at very low cost as well. And of course they are conscious about the quality. So therefore managing these four aspects is really tough and interesting task. So that is why we are going to discuss one of these aspects, which is the cost management here. Now let's see what are the things that we are going to cover in this particular topic. First, we will be looking at what is meant by cost, then why managing cost is important, then we will be moving to what are the different costs and what are the different types of cost, and finally, we will concentrate on how to manage project cost within a project environment. So when it comes to cost, different people will look at it in different way. For a consumer, it is simply the amount of money you spend on buying a particular product or service. So every consumer want to get very high quality product or very high quality service at reasonable price. But when it comes to business organization, the concept of cost is not as straightforward as the price you pay, because if it is a product organization or service organization, there will be different costs involved in producing that product or service, and some of those costs will be somewhat hidden as well. Therefore we have to tackle it in a very systematic way. Now let's see why the cost is really important for us. When it comes to business organization, we want to make profit. Only if we make profit, we can achieve other objectives like serving the society, providing more opportunities, providing better goods and services, etc. So therefore, profit is really sensitive area and really important area. So when it comes to profit, the profit is revenue minus your cost. Now you can see that cost is directly related to your profit. So if you want to increase your profit, either you have to increase your revenue or you have to decrease your cost. If you can do both, that is also good. But when it comes to maximizing profit, sometimes we want to reduce the cost, or at least we want to have a reasonable cost level. Because sometimes if you try to reduce cost as much as possible, your revenue might get affected as well. So therefore we want to have a reasonable balance. So managing cost is really important when it comes to increasing profit. Now let's see what are the special challenges when it comes to project cost management. So the first challenge is identifying all the costs, because there can be some costs somewhat hidden and somewhat implicit. Then predicting the cost, because at upfront, at the beginning of the project, we must have some idea of how much it is going to cost. So therefore we are going to discuss that as well, because it's a really challenging thing. Then how to measure cost. So some costs are not very obvious. So quantifying these costs is really challenging. So we are going to discuss that as well. Finally, another challenge is how to control the cost, because things may not go according to the plan all the time. We may vary from our cost budget and time budget, time schedule and cost budget as well. So in that case, we have to first identify that we have deviated, then we have to take some control measures. So that is also a challenge we have to fulfill. Now let's see what are the key costs when it comes to a project. Of course, it will depends whether you are producing a physical thing or you are producing a conceptual thing or you are just providing service. So when it comes to IT or software, it is more producing a conceptual product. So let's see what are the different costs that in general. So one of the key costs is the cost of raw material. So that is especially important if you are producing a physical thing. If you are producing a physical product, sometimes the key cost is the cost of raw materials. Then the cost of the effort. So that is the labor involved in manufacturing that product or producing that service or whatever. When it comes to software development industry, our core cost is the cost of effort or the cost of labor. The third cost we can identify is cost of the infrastructure of the business organization and some utilities like electricity bills, telephone bills, and internet bills, etc. So that must also be considered when you are costing. Then the cost of administration. So every organization has different departments like admin departments, HR departments, etc. So when you are doing a project, especially in a project organization, we have to absorb part of that cost to our project as well. Otherwise, what will happen is ultimately your projects will have profitable or projects will be profitable, but ultimately no one has absorbed those costs of other common aspects, then the company is going to be or business organization is going to be at a loss. Then finally, we have to consider the cost of marketing as well. Now we are living in a very high competitive dynamic environment. No organization can survive without doing some sort of marketing. So therefore, we have to consider the cost of marketing as well when it comes to cost calculations and other planning, etc. Now let's try to understand different types of cost. So one categorization is direct cost versus indirect cost. So the direct costs are the costs that directly occur for your particular project. Right? For example, if you take software development project, one of the direct costs is the cost of the labor, so the cost of the team members. So if a team member work for 3 months in your project, the 3 month salary is directly related to your project. And if you are manufacturing something, the key direct cost is the cost of the raw material. So likewise, you can identify direct cost. For example, if you take a particular server specifically for targeting for a particular project, so that is also direct cost. Now let's see what is meant by indirect cost. So indirect costs are costs which are not directly for your project, but you have to absorb part of that cost as well because you are also benefiting from that. For example, the rent of the organization's premises and electricity bills, and those kind of costs are considered as indirect costs because every project has to absorb proportion of those costs as well. Otherwise, no one is going to take care of those costs. Okay, so that is direct versus indirect cost. Another categorization is tangible versus intangible cost. So the tangible cost means cost that is very obvious and easily quantifiable. Again, if you take something like the cost of the labor, cost of raw material, those are tangible costs. So the intangible costs are somewhat hidden cost. So those are not very obvious and therefore it's not very easy to quantify as well. If you take a software development project, the cost of a bug can be considered as intangible cost, right? Or maybe cost of a team member leaving the organization because there will be some cost. We have to fill that gap. We have to get that another person to that particular level. So there will be some training for that particular person. So who is going to take care of that cost? So those are called indirect cost of a organization or the project. Okay, so we have to consider both tangible and intangible cost, and of course, uh, quantifying and identifying intangible cost is sometimes really difficult task. But those things are going to indirectly affect the success of the project, success or failure of the project. Now we are going to look at a very special type of cost. We call them the sunk cost. Sunk cost is a cost which has already occurred before a particular project is formally started or contractually it is signed. So that is those are called sunk cost. For example, there would have been some marketing involved, or maybe the cost involving in bidding and other previous negotiation process. So those costs are called sunk costs. So why we call them sunk cost is that cost is already happened or sunk. So usually a best practice or general concept in costing is do not directly cost that to the customer, because that is something that has occurred before the customer has come to your contractual obligations. Of course, you can consider the sunk cost or the amount of sunk cost when you are determining your profit margins, but we are not supposed to directly cost it to the customer. Okay, so that is something we have to understand. Right, now let's look at what is the project management or project cost management process. So just like any other aspect in management, when it comes to cost management also, first we have to plan how we are going to do the cost management. Then at very early stage of your project, you have to do some estimates or estimating of the cost. Because when it comes to getting a project, first we have to bid for that. We have to win the customer. So then we have to initially uh, forecast what kind of a cost or how much it is going to be cost. Then only we can say we can do it at this particular price. So for that we have to do some estimations. So estimations of the cost. Then once we got the project, we have to allocate that cost for different tasks, different time period, etc. And we call them the budgeting the cost or cost budgeting. While the project is ongoing, we have to keep tracking the cost as well. Track and control the cost. So that is also very important, especially when it comes to a project involving information technology, because there are a lot of uncertainties involving that. So therefore, it's very important to track and control the cost. While we are doing this tracking, sometimes we have to do the re-estimate as well. Right? So we will be discussing those later. Then when the project is over, again we will be doing post-project completion measures as well. Because only when your project is over, you are 100% accuracy, you know what are the costs are. Then only you can do the real costing that you want to do. Until that time, there was some certain of element of doubt and accuracy. But once the project is over, you have to finalize your costing for your other accounting and other purposes. So we will be discussing those later. Now let's take one by one, starting with planning the cost management. So when it comes to planning, overall at the beginning you must have planned on how you are going to tackle this aspect of costing. So it involved identifying possible cost and types of cost, because otherwise you will miss those things. Determine the cost estimation techniques, because at very early you have to do some estimations. So which kind of estimation techniques you are going to use. So you have to plan out those things. Then how we are going to do the cost tracking, what kind of cost controlling techniques you are planning to do. So those things also you have to plan out upfront. It depends on the nature of the project and the customer's behaviors, etc. Finally, you must plan how you are going to report your costing as well. So what kind of formats you are going to use to report your costing. Right. Now let's move on to the cost estimation aspect of cost management. So when it comes to estimations, it is very important. One thing is to plan out your project costing or the budgeting. Other thing is if you are bidding for a particular project, because there is a competition. Not only you will, your organization will be considered by the customer. He will consider so many other potential vendors to get its work done. So therefore, we have to upfront provide them with a estimation of how much of a cost it will give, it will have. So if a customer is happy, he will come to you. If the customer is not happy, he will look for another organization. And of course, here you can't do underestimations as well. In that case, you might get the project, but ultimately you will end up in a loss. So therefore, estimates are really challenging thing. So how we are going to do the estimations? So we are usually, when it comes to software development, we do it in three levels or three part series or sequence of three tasks. That is the size estimation, effort estimation, and the cost estimation. So the first thing is we want to identify what size of a project we are going to start on, right? So then only we can get a feeling of what kind of effort we are going to need. So because the biggest cost when it comes to software development is the cost of the software development team or the effort. So therefore, effort estimate is really critical. Once you have that, together with the other costs like cost of the servers and any other things, now we can get the cost estimate. But the main input is the effort estimate together with some other costs related to hardware and other things. We can come up with the cost estimate. So there are a lot of challenges when it comes to cost estimations. So you need a lot of predicting and guessing when you are doing costing, because this is a future task that we are going to do. We are just predicting or guessing how much it is going to get. If you take some other fields like civil engineering, so the costing or the estimation is not that challenging because most of the time it is the cost of the raw material, and those tasks are well defined. We know exactly, sometimes exactly we can say it will take this much of effort, the raw materials will take exactly this much of amount of cost. But when it comes to software development, lot of uncertainty involved, right? Lot of uncertainty involved, and we are working on a conceptual thing, not a physical thing. So therefore, estimation. So whatever the estimation, size estimation, effort estimation, or the cost estimation are going to be really tough. So in order to tackle that, we have to look at few aspects. So what we need is really experienced people doing the costing, because they have a lot of exposure, a lot of experience working in past projects. They can give a reasonably good estimations than average person. Then it's a collective effort. Why? Because software development involves so many aspects, right? Designing, gathering requirements, developing, testing, and etc. And of course, some project management effort as well. So we have to get inputs from different peoples, because they are the one who knows uh, how long it will take to get it done, and that is where we need some experienced people as well. Then we have to think of possibility of errors, because we are just predicting things. So we have to think of what is the possibility of errors. Then we have to consider the accuracy versus precision as well. So in this case, accuracy is more important than precision. So it doesn't matter how much precision you go if your estimates are not accurate. So therefore, we have to consider those two as well. Sometimes people get fooled by the precision when they really need, what they really need is the accuracy. Okay. Right, now let's high level. So we are very briefly going to look at the cost estimation approaches. At high level, we can look at or categorize it into two, that is top-down cost estimations and bottom-up cost estimations. So when it comes to top-down costing, we can consider two ways, that is estimate by analogy and expert judgment. Actually what happens is, in reality, we will be using the combination of those two techniques, or the combination of those two aspects will be used to do the top-down approach. In top-down approach, we do the costing at very high level. Without going to the details of the task, we look at the project at high level and do the costing. So in that case, we have to use a lot of expertise, because they have the experience of doing working on the similar project. And also we have to look at the similar projects and how, what was the estimate and actually how long it took, what was the cost it took for that kind of projects. Then we can compare our project, our potential project, with those past projects and come up with the costing. So that approach is called cost by analogy. So costing or estimating by looking at similar project that we have already done. Expert judgment means we rely on the experienced people who have involved in that kind of projects to come up with high level estimate. But anyway, this is top down approach, therefore it will be very high level cost or the estimation. So when it comes to bottom up approach, it is completely different way. There we try to in detail analyze our project tasks, what are the different tasks, what are the different sub-tasks. Then we do the costing for those low level tasks. Then we add them up or sum up to come up with the final costing, right? So this is very detailed approach, very systematic approach, but only thing is this will take more time. And also coming up with these detailed activities and costing precisely for those detailed activities is also really challenging. But if you need more accurate costing, right, more detailed costing, you have to go for bottom-up approach. Whereas if you need quick costing to get a feeling of what kind of cost we are going to have it, we can go for the top-down approach. But in reality, in software development field, what happens is we go for bit of both, right? So when you are bidding initially, sometimes you don't have enough time, you don't have enough visibility. We have to go for the top-down approach or estimation by analogy and expert judgment. Just by getting the feeling of the project, we come up with some rough level estimation. But before starting the project, we want to do a little bit more serious costing. So in that case, we do bit of bottom up costing as well. Okay. So therefore, it's bit of both we have to do depending on the situation and the time of the project. Right. So when it comes to bottom up approach, we can use different techniques. So the most popular technique is called the parametric model. So one of the key aspects of parametric model or key approaches are either use of functional points or estimate based on line of codes. So most of the time what happens is we will again go for combination of both. Right? Combination of both. So we will briefly look at what is meant by functional point based uh, estimations. So one of the specific way of doing estimations based on functional point is called COCOMO approach or the constructive cost modeling approach. Right? So this is how functional point based costing or the estimate looks at very high level. So in that case, first we identify what are the different type of functional points involved in this project. So that is basically what are the input screens, how many input screens we have, how many reports we are going to generate, how many tables we are going to work with, how many business flows we are going to have, and stuff like that. So then we identify what are the complexities of each and every of those things. Because one screen might be simple, another screen might be somewhat complicated. Then how many screens are there? How many outputs are there? So we are going to look at how many and what complexity. Then we are going to sum those things up and find out the number of function points. So number of function points will depends on the complexity and number of things that involve. Okay, but this is very again not very accurate because it's very difficult to judge the complex, especially the complexity is very difficult to judge. So, but anyway, we need some sort of a way to do a reasonable costing or reasonable estimation upfront. Right. So the second approach is the line of codes. In that point, rather than you look at it at functional level, like screens, reports, tables, etc., we try to figure it out how much of line of codes we are going to write. Of course, it will depends on again the technology, the language, the complexity of the project, etc. So what we usually do is we look at both or we consider both these approach together to get a reasonably accurate project estimate. Right. So as I told you, the top-down approach is quick but not very detailed, whereas the bottom-up approach is more detailed but it needs more time and effort. Of course, the time is money. So we go for bit of both depending on the requirements and the situation we are in. Right. So when it comes challenging, or when it comes to estimations, there are some challenges. I've already mentioned that. So lack of upfront visibility is the biggest challenge. So sometimes when you are doing the estimates, we have very little visibility about the details. So therefore, most of the time we have to do the costing or the estimations at high level or based on certain assumptions. Then it's very difficult to estimate the effort for a particular task. Again, it involves a lot of technical complexities, and also the productivity of different developers are different. So therefore, we have to take sort of average developers or average team members productivity, and we have to do the effort estimation. So that is also really challenging thing unless you consider all those things, and also some uncertainty involving the technologies and other aspects. So therefore, estimating is really challenging thing when it comes to IT projects. Right. Now we discuss about the cost planning and estimating. Now let's look at very briefly the budgeting. So budgeting is allocation of your money based on the time and sometimes tasks. Right. So once you have, now we have the estimates at high level. Now we have to allocate the money. Now the project has started. So the budgeting is done when the project is confirmed and started. Now we have to allocate money so that the project manager can utilize the money for the certain tasks. Right? So we can do that by task or by time. Actually, what we do is usually we have to do it by both task and time. Right? A budget sheet will looks like something like this. Right? So these are some work breakdown for the different tasks that will be there in a project. So we have estimated that these and these tasks will take this much of time, and again for the first week it will take this much of time, for the second week it will cost this much of time, likewise. So this is the task wise cost breakdown, right? And this is the time wise. So this is, say, for the hardware altogether, so we have 60,000 and 16,000. For the software we have the 20,000. So for testing we have 69,000. Likewise, we have task wise breakdown, but this is time wise breakdown. For example, if you take project manager's cost, so it will be cost each month, maybe that is his salary, right? So you can break it into the month wise. And again, if you take something like hardware also, we can anticipate which time you really need it. Then, so that cost will occur only at that particular time, not before that. So likewise, we can cost for the monthly basis as well. Now you can see that budgeting is all about costing based on the task and time. So then we know that how much of a cost is going to be for a particular task, how much of a money or how much of a cost is going to happen on a particular month. So then we can allocate money time wise as well as task wise as well. So that is what we do with cost budgeting. Right. So we are not going to cover the other parts right here, because we are going to cover it in the part 2 of the session. So there we will be discussing the cost controlling and lot of calculations we are going to discuss right there. Thank you.